I got 4 things to say to you. Raise hell, praise Dale, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engines! Woo!
I'm Jeff Gordon, and you're watching Racing America.
Well, I'm trying to pull that down, BC.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, I mean, I'll start.
Yeah, I honestly don't know why that won't come down. Boom, there we go.
There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to your favorite Tuesday night programming. This is indeed the Revved Up Sports Show from Texas. Showtime Bobby Chappie right here. The Iceman Roddy Rodriguez, that's the other man over there. You know, we'll just call it a moment of silence to start the show inadvertently, you know, with Ozzy and Hulk Hogan. I did tell you I had a surprise for you, right? Before we came on.
I don't care about Ozzy. Hulk Hogan's the one that matters.
I know, but check this out.
A Hulk Hogan beer?
A Hulk Hogan beer.
There you go. There you go, right there. Those things, you better get your hands on them while you can. I'm assuming that they'll still make them. But
I have 2 cases signed by the man himself when I met him in April.
Who brews that? Who brews that?
We're up in Pennsylvania.
Oh, shit. I didn't know if it was Anheuser-Busch or who exactly did that.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
there you go, man. I'll tell you, it was quite the rush of losses that we had.
It's good beer. If I'm drinking it, you know it's good beer.
Well, or free, one of the two.
No, I have 4 cases, so I got 2 autographed. Went back and bought 2 more. So.
Well, you better drink them fast because they
can't keep them on the shelves no more.
And then it's going to turn into skunk beer. And it's like, yeah, boo, yeah, man. That was quite the run right there of just losing people there all in a row, man. And then now Ryan Sandberg passed away from the Cubs. It's like, man, somebody hit the handbrake here. Jeez Louise.
Yeah, a little rough for celebrities and stuff like that. So it's been who knows who's next. So it's not been good. It's, you know, I mean, I'm proud to say that I was a Hulkamaniac. Still am. You see me wear the t-shirts and stuff now. I've been to the store there in Orlando. The store that apparently, you know, it's bone dry now because of he's sold more beer and more t-shirts since he died than he did the last month he was alive.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, man, the thing about it is, because somebody was asking me, you know, when Hulk Hogan passed, it was like, so is this the equivalent of when Dale Earnhardt passed away? And it's like, I think from that era, I mean, from that era of both NASCAR and wrestling, to where it's like that was probably the most the figure that you would know if you weren't really in sync with either one of those sports.
Yeah.
But I think that Earnhardt was different because of the way it happened.
Yeah.
You know, it is much more tragic. I mean, not that Terry Bollea's wasn't tragic, but it's just kind of different. But I think the emphasis that they had, very similar. I mean, I think kind of puts both sports on the map.
Yeah, in the 80s, I mean, they were, you know, I'm surprised there never was a collaboration between NASCAR and WWE. I guess Vince McMahon thought it was too low cut, just too Southern for him to hook up with NASCAR, I guess, you know, because I mean, you've seen Ric Flair and different stuff at different events back in the 80s and early 90s. Yeah. So it's not too bad. I mean, you got The Rock that still comes out and does stuff. He's the Grand Marshal for the Daytona 500 either last year or the year before.
Yeah, I was always more, you know, once it came down to once the territories were gone, I was more of a WCW guy. I was never more. The WWF, it was I mean, it changed wrestling for the better. I mean, obviously it put it over with mainstream and so forth, but I was just more. And you remember WCW was kind of involved there in the Bush series for a while, where they had what was that, the 29 car, I
Yeah,
think
had
it was?
the Steve Grissom car,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
had the Kyle Petty NWO car.
Hmm. Yeah, that was kind of more my flavor, was that to where WWF was just more. I don't want to say it seemed fake
But
because
there for a while.
yeah, yeah. It now to me, when I became a huge fan of the WWF or whatever, was in the Stone Cold Rock, the whatever they call it,
Attitude Era.
the Attitude Era. That's when I'm like, okay. And that was a great business plan to where they had to change because of, I mean, you remember the back and forth, the Monday nights and
Monday
the
Night Wars. I
outside.
loved it. I loved it, man. It
Oh,
was great.
that was so great. I mean, that was really a great time to where it was like you were watching both. And I thought it was so great, like when the WWE went in there and it's like they're or WCW, I guess it was, to where it's like WWF was taped and WCW is doing whatever. It's
Giving
like, well, wait a
results
minute.
and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, it was a really good time. It was a really good time, and it was really all led by Hulk Hogan. I mean, that dude, it was. I mean, he was the force that really made that happen. I mean, that first WrestleMania. I mean, you go back and think of everyone that was involved with that. It's unbelievable.
Started the paper. Well, it was on closed circuit TV, but it started
Yeah,
the pay per view as we knew it, how it came to be.
yeah,
Right. If it wasn't for Vince McMahon, pay per view would have never existed.
yeah,
So
yeah. Well, and the funny thing about it for me was like with the WWE and just the way that it all went down where the territories, because a lot like when all that happened, I mean, I recognized a lot of these people, and it was weird to see how the characters were developed, when they went to either or, to where it was like, okay, you just thought that so and so was just a big bruising ruffian that was going to kick somebody's ass, and then boom, they morph into a softer or whatever
the
the case was.
Undertaker. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I remember that
Big
dude,
Mark
world
Callis.
class.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean,
Texas Red.
Hogan.
Was it Texas Red or Big Red or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that?
I remember Hogan when he wrestled for Gagne for AWA, and I think they wanted to put him over as the champ, but Vince McMahon, he made the move and got him. Made the move and got him, and boom, there you went. The rest is history, as they say. But yeah, it's a very sad, very sad loss. Very sad loss.
So if you like our wrestling content today, you can always check out our buddy Stu Myrick with Sports Guys Talk Wrestling on all your favorite podcast platforms. This is in no way, shape, or form sponsored by Stu, but he was on the money, man. Within hours of Hulk Hogan passing away with the official word, he was on it. He already had a show tape ready to go. It's about 36 minutes long. I listened to it and had a good time with it.
I was worried about him. When all of that went down, I'm like, okay, is this guy okay? I mean, I didn't text him. I'm like, I'm going to leave him alone. He probably needs his time. But and then with like I text you guys, I'm like, well, the one thing that we figured out through all of this is Ric Flair is indeed the man. I
Ric
never,
Flair gonna outlive them all.
I never thought
He has. He's outlived them all.
he has, man.
Hogan, Roddy Piper, Dusty
Yeah.
Rhodes,
I'm
Harley
like,
Race.
yeah. In the words of Buford T. Justice, there is no way that dude would outlive those people. But yeah, he's still going. He's all bandaged up and taking treatments, right before that. But somebody's probably gonna wrestle again. You just watch.
The Nature Boy.
God, it's crazy. It's crazy. And it's so funny looking back, and we'll get to the racing stuff here at some point. We've got a couple of guests lined up too. Actually, one of them, the Max Kayas, it's supposed to be on a little bit later on. He's actually racing at Charlotte, and with the Tuesday night show there. And I actually just got a text for Max has been in contact with me saying how things have gotten delayed. I won't use Max's exact words. A lot of them you wouldn't know because we're texting in Spanish, friends. But Memphis Virial just reached out and said he's getting held up a little bit. So we'll see what happens here. Again, we're live, so that's kind of what we do around here. But totally forgot where I was going with that. But anyway, but we'll have plenty of good content for you. The there's another wrestling thought, and it totally just went by me. So I don't know. I didn't know that Hulk Hogan wrestled in. They were talking about him in
New Japan.
Yeah, I had. Is that no? It's one of the ones that's on right now. EC. No, it can't be EC.
Oh, TNA.
TNA. I didn't know that he was there.
He was an authority figure in TNA. Him and Bischoff. They tried to do the Monday Night Wars Part 2, and it epically failed.
Well, and I have to tell you that. So when the turn came, when he became Hollywood Hogan, and you had all of that with. I wish I had a toothpick. I'd throw it at the camera. When you had all of that going on, and who's left? Scott Hall? Is he the only one?
No, Scott Hall's gone. Kevin Nash is the only one that's left.
Kevin Nash. Yeah, Scott Hall's Razor Ramon.
Razor Ramon.
So when the whole thing happened with
the NWO, the invasion.
Yeah. So you had all that. It was like, okay.
I should have texted you the picture of me and Hogan if I knew we were going to talk about wrestling this long.
Yeah, we're 13 minutes in, and we're still on it. But it was so when all of that, I'm like, okay, whatever. And of course, he did get really nasty and dirty and so forth. But the first thing I thought of a couple of months ago when John Cena did the flip is I'm like, it's going to take a lot to convince me right here, because Hulk Hogan did a really good job of being a dick when he flipped back, but he had been a bad dude at one point, so he had He had it in him, yeah. And obviously he had some other demons, so he had it in him. But this John Cena thing, I'm like, I just can't. I don't buy it.
That's the only advantage to the show being now on Tuesdays. I can watch Monday Night Raw now.
Yeah.
And so I can watch it and kind of see what's going on. But
yeah, I can't buy the John Cena. And of course, then the videos come out to where it's like, and again, this is what wrestling is now. The videos come out to where after the show, they're all embracing and doing all these different things. I'm like, I'm supposed to not like this guy, but I mean, not that he was ever a favorite, but it's like, it's hard to not like John Cena. I can't think of him as a total dick, where Hulk Hogan did sell me that he was a total cock.
Well, the problem is that, it's the way that this new stuff is presented. They want you to, they don't protect the business like they used to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Before it was like think about how many jobs and acting roles the Undertaker has turned down because he wanted to stay in the dead man character.
Yeah.
Now look at how much stuff he's doing as the American Badass, as like the motorcycle guy.
Yep.
He's on TV nonstop. If it's WWE programming, he's on it. So I think that's the way it's kind of like, they're doing this. It comes on today. I think the 29th, right? Yeah. It come out today. Mm-hmm. Called Unreal on Netflix. It's a behind the scenes production of how they turn John Cena heel there to turn on Cody Rhodes. It's on Netflix. Starts tonight. It's a whole mini series about behind the scenes, how they come up with stuff, how it's directed in guerrilla position, all that stuff.
Wow, that's really good. I need to check that out.
Yeah, it started today on Netflix. So
sweet. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Update on Max Kayas. So Max is sitting on the grid. Max has been sitting on the grid. Racers, you can understand this. One of the things that drives us crazy. He's been sitting on the grid. He texted me about 25 minutes ago. I'm going to line up. He's still sitting on the grid because the race that's before him has been under red flag. Oh, so he's still sitting on the grid and still has apparently a ways to go. So we'll get caught up with Max. That's not a bad thing. And that's why we go live, and we always have a backup plan. Ain't that right? As we search for it.
I mean, it's always, the thought of having this show taped is just unreal to me because we've done it. We're coming up on almost 9 years now.
Yeah. Well,
today was the end of the run for the Horn Show, by the way, on Facebook Memories. Yeah. God, I always remember that because it's my parents' anniversary. So
yeah. Oh, I saw that, man. I saw your sister post that, and
yeah, she stole my thunder. I didn't have to post anything. She done stole my thunder. So
yeah, let her deal with that. Well, you had a double doozy. I mean, I remember when I got the call that the Horn that we were all going to be out of a job. I mean, I say a job. Well, still, that was a big deal. I mean, being on the radio there was a big deal. I remember I got I got laid off of my real job that morning at like 9 a.m. I get a text at 8:45. Dear Rodney, you're invited to a Zoom regarding the company future. I'm like, oh shit.
That was a rough day for you.
That sucked, man.
Didn't we do a show that afternoon? like, didn't this show come on that afternoon
I
or the
think
next
so.
day or something like that?
And I think we had technical problems that day. I think the internet crashed that day. So I got laid off that morning, and then
At noon, from like noon to 1, we had the horn meeting.
yeah, it's like, okay, we need everybody on this call. I'm like, I thought we were like landing a huge, like a football thing because it's like close to football season. I'm like, well, at least we're going to have a big UT thing going on this year. Oh, no, we're going to close the station. You assholes are all out of a job. Like, what? I'm like, I'm not going outside today. I'm not leaving the house. I needed one of them real American hero beers right there.
That was a fun show. We had a lot of fun. And the archives are still out there somewhere.
Trey Elling, if you go to SoundCloud, Trey Elling actually, I don't know why, but Trey has kept a majority of those. I know the ones for sure. I mean, I've got the Bob Jenkins and all of those, but it was like anytime we had a guest, because, Trey was all about, Trey is the consummate interviewer. And so he kept the interview ones that we had, and then he kept every dadgum pre-race that we did. All the codas are in there, and it's like, damn, that's pretty cool. That was a really good show.
It was a great show. It was,
really
I mean, we still have fun doing this one after all these years, but it was so different. We had a lot more of our NASCAR buddies on that mainstream show than we do now, but
that was what, 46 minutes that we had to compile all of this into this amount of space. And it was one of those things. I mean, I remember constantly, whether it was Ty or whoever the producer was, like, break. And I'm like, but we're just getting going, So anyway, so that really was a good time.
we were the cornerstone of that for a while. We were the only ones that was constant on that lineup.
Yeah. And I remember where it's like, I remember we finished our last show because we killed the Saturday lineup. We signed off, and it was like, no more Saturdays. Boom. Saturdays are dead around here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, I think it was Christina that called, and she's like, well, that's it. I'm like, well, shit. Okay. So yeah, that stunk. That was a really good, that opened up a lot of doors for us. I mean, it just kind of not that we're valid now, but it kind of gave us some good validity, it seemed like, with that one. So
when I joke about, y'all need to check out the archives, there's so many new listeners now that we've kind of gone on the simulcast portion and a couple of the new simulcast networks that we're on now that don't remember the guests that we've had on here. We've had Bobby Allison on here before he passed. We had Donnie Allison on here once or twice. Had Terry Labonte on for an in-depth, long-term interview with Terry Labonte, talking about his days in Corpus Christi, before he made it to Darlington and NASCAR and stuff, with Billy Hagan and just all kind of, some of the local heroes we grew up with. Did you save that picture from JC?
I have it. I need to get it over here so we can pull it up. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. That's the one thing I forgot to do.
We got a lot of local Texas legends on, so check out the archives. Like I jokingly mentioned about, the show that started it all, but y'all, for you new listeners, if you think these shows are fun now, we've had a whole lot of fun over the course of the last 9 years doing this show. So,
and what was so different back then, it was, I mean, I say that it was easier to get people to come on, and it really was. And I think a lot of it was because there wasn't anybody else doing this. So it was like, you reach out to somebody and they're like, okay, you want me to do what? And it's like, okay, it's a show on the internet. And then that was really the whole thing, where it was like, with some of these folks, it's like, now the one that really drove it really crazy was Freddie. And that was the one where, with help from a lot of people, to where it's like Freddie didn't care where it was. And it's like what we were talking about with Greg Davidson, which, by the way, thank you all for going back and checking out that Greg Davidson show. My God, that thing is breaking all kinds of records. That number just keeps flying up off the whatever. It's like, I don't know.
You have to send it to me. I tried to look for it. It wouldn't show me on the number side.
Oh my God, that thing is just, but that just goes to the point of how important these folks are, to people, because so many people. And by the way, August the 16th will be that celebration of life for Greg Davidson, and that's going to be over in the Houston area. But we'll get that up on our page, and at some point I do want to talk to Chris. I think it'd be really cool to have him on here and he's been on the show, so many different times, but just get some Chris Davidson thoughts about his dad, now that his dad ain't gonna kick his ass.
Well, the good news is, well, it's not that there's good news when you go to service like that. August 16th is the next race in Houston.
Yeah.
You should have called it the Greg Davidson Memorial Night.
It's kind of what I was thinking. That's kind of what I was thinking, that would have been whatever. I was going to suggest it, but that's it's not my job. But I thought that it would have gotten figured out. But so I do want to let me see here if I can find it. They changed up a little bit of they changed some stuff here on our platform to where I can share stuff, and I think that I'm going to share this now. And boom, there it is. There it is right there. Hulk Hogan, my man.
April 2nd, man. April the 2nd of 2025.
Yeah.
Right down the street at a little convenience station.
Yeah.
Dropping in with real cases of beer. I bought a case of beer the day before, and then I got him to sign 2 cases of beer, and I bought a couple of cases since then after the fact. So yeah. It's good beer.
He was on tour. Let's see here. I might be able to help that a little bit. There you go, right there. There's our man BC with the great Hulk Hogan. The great Hulk Hogan.
Because that's the shirt from the actual Hogan's Beach Shop in Orlando.
Yeah.
When I went up to see him, he says, "I love the shirt, brother." I said, "Yes, sir." I said, "I missed you by like 2 days to meet you in person then, but thanks for being my childhood hero." So
Did you tell him you took your vitamins that morning?
I did. I told him I went from saying my prayers and eating my vitamins to saying my prayer and drinking Hulk Hogan beer.
Man, I would have loved to have been able to talk to him and say, Hulk, here's what I learned from you. I went out and got black spray paint and went out and started graffitiing everything that I could find from when you were in NWO. So I learned that.
WWE sells the replica belts that have this. They have the old Ric Flair big gold belt, and then they've got NWO spray paint on the front of the belt.
I got this thing today. Again, you never know what's fake and what's not. And all too often I bite, but I'm not quite invested enough and haven't drank enough today to do it. I mean, TBD, I might still do it at some point, but so it was like, remember the wing belt, the Hulk Hogan. So it was like, and I followed it all the way until it was to where you had to pay. They're giving away a few for just shipping, and it was going to be $9 and some such replica. I mean, they're not saying that it's like the 10 pounds of gold that's hanging over here. It's supposedly a wing tip or wing whatever belt,
gold wing belt or whatever.
Yeah. So I don't know. May still do it. Wouldn't mind having that one for my collection.
I still have my fantasy football one, by the way.
That's coming up too. I've been just a lot of football that's going on, and it's that time of year. And I think this year I'm feeling it. I think I'm going to win. I think I'm going to win this year.
Now, 1 year you beat me, so
yeah, that one year.
That 1 year. Other than that, I kick y'all's ass. So
I mean, yeah, it's like all the time. It's like why? It's like we're like giving to the Bobby Chaffee donation fund every year because it's like you're going to win. It's like. And I find ways to lose. I mean, last year I just flat ass sucked, but it's like a lot of those years, I'm just like the Cowboys, to where it's like I have these amazing years and shit the bed, in the first round of the playoffs. So
that's all right. You know who's dead last in our NASCAR fantasy league?
Who's that?
Me.
Oh shit, you are?
I'm dead ass last in the NASCAR fantasy league.
Yeah, I don't. I set that, and I think a lot of times it's for me. Seriously, it is dumb luck, because most of the time it's like, holy shit, it's Saturday night. I better set this. And like when I'm traveling, it's like, oh man, here we go. So anyway, it's all good.
You can still play. There's still time for y'all to join in for the playoffs.
Yeah.
They reset the field for the playoffs. So
yeah.
Got a couple of 4 more weeks to get in. Speaking of NASCAR, nothing to talk about today other than our friend Austin Hill getting suspended for right rearing Eric Almirola there at the Brickyard.
The Busch Series bully.
Don't wear white gloves, guys. Don't wear white gloves. It gives it away.
Man, that guy. That guy really grinds my gears. And I mean, I don't know. I posted something on Twitter and it's like, well, he can't help it that he's not getting out of the Busch Series. I'm like, it ain't that. It's just that this guy Now this is the guy. I think they need to put him in that sensitive training. This dude's got some anger issues. This guy is like,
he was a loose cannon yesterday or Saturday.
Oh man, yeah, and that was, I knew it was coming. I don't care what color his gloves are. I mean, when I saw that car straighten up and I knew what had happened, where you could tell what Almirola did right there, I knew that was coming. I absolutely knew what he was going to do, and that was so obvious.
Because it looked like it live, like you could see it live, and then as they, just like McMurray and Parker Klingerman were watching it on the replay there on TNT, they couldn't defend it anymore. It was like, oh man. And then of course his wonderful thing telling NASCAR what they could do with themselves did not help his cause at all.
Yeah. And that's
especially when you right rear somebody and the first thing you key up, I didn't right rear that guy.
Yeah.
And then then you sit on pit road and tell NASCAR to shove it in a so eloquent way that TNT decides to use that as broadcasting material. So
yeah. And that's, after the race, with RC, where it's like, comparing it to the other whatever
Dakota deal, not the same thing.
Come on, Richard. It's like I see that fire. I mean, I know what he did earlier in the year, to where it's like, our cars, we need to be faster and we need whatever. And as Richard is saying that, as I'm listening to it, I'm like yelling at the screen or phone or whatever it was where I heard it. I'm like, Richard, why don't you gift that fire for Sunday? Give Kyle Busch a car that can win. I mean, get fired up like that. I'm like, I'm so frustrated with RCR, because it's like, man, you guys just race on Saturday. That seems to be all you care about. I mean, that's when you're the best. I mean, one of the best drivers in your fleet. I mean, in NASCAR, in your fleet, and that guy's driving junk. I mean, put Austin in charge of business. He's a great business guy.
He does really good with the Carolina Cowboys PBR team.
Absolutely. And we know that firsthand. I mean, talking to JJ Gotch, to where it's like, Austin is so sharp and marketing and all that. Well, could use those tools on the race team. Maybe that'll help the performance. I don't know. That whole thing just drives me crazy. But yeah, Austin Hill really is one of those guys that
it's hard to like the guy.
I know.
I mean, you and I have been to media availabilities with him, and there's just got that little chip. There's a difference between having a chip on your shoulder and having the boulder on the shoulder for no reason at all.
And Bobby, it's always somebody else's fault, where it's like, oh yeah, I mean, that whole deal right there, I'm sure somehow it's spun to Almirola. And I got to tell you, Almirola did a really good job of where, he composed himself and he spoke. And then at the end, and man, it was just TV gold when Almirola said, that was as hard as when I broke my back. Mm-hmm. I'm like, boom, right there. I said, week off coming up for the Busch Series bully, right there, just off of that line. God, that was good. That was good.
So, and as of last check, Childress have said they will not appeal it.
Oh, yeah, well.
They're not going to appeal the penalty. So he's going to be stuck between a rock and a hard place. Other news, I read a deal today from some insider sources, not to be named, that there will be some changes coming up at Colleague Racing here pretty soon. Speaking of the One Welcome team, with everybody on the RCR campus with Big Machine Records and Colleague Racing, they're up and welcome. Mm-hmm. There will be changes to the Colleague Racing Xfinity Series program, more than likely involving Josh Williams.
That's long overdue. No offense, but it's like, how's he staying there?
Money.
Did he bring money?
He brought in a little bit of money to take that ride.
Yeah. That's kind of been my thought right there with the way that Colleague has just vaulted itself into something really, really cool. And it's like, then that dude's still there. I mean, I know he was sick and so forth, but it's like, I don't know. I mean, I don't.
Should have gotten better. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that 11 car at one time was kind of like one of their benchmark teams, but I don't quite understand all of that. But anyway, so we're going to do a little bit of extemporaneous stuff going on right here. I think we'll see if this works. Let's try this. Let's go to the telephone hotline. We're talking about our man Max Calles, who is stuck over there in Charlotte, waiting for some stuff to happen. They're having an intermission. They're like, the shit show is going to pause, and we're going to have an intermission. So Memphis is like, call this number. Call me right now. And I think it's my Meadow. Is it Max Calles on the line?
Hey, Rodney, how are you?
Max, ¿qué pasó? What's going on over there, dude? What are they doing? Do they think they're in Texas or what?
I mean, the school bus race was pretty fun to watch, though.
Oh, school bus. Nice.
Yeah, school bus race, yeah, but we're here on pit lane waiting for a race. We're starting ninth. We kind of messed up there on qualifying because it rained, and we went out on slicks, and everyone else went out on rain tires. So
yeah,
I qualified ninth, but now it's dry, so we'll see what we can do here.
Yeah, absolutely. So Max, I've seen now with the Legend. How did all that come together, man? Those are a hell of a big deal over there, aren't they?
Yeah, man, it's huge. I mean, I've never been on a Legend before, ever, and this is, I think, my fifth race here on the shootout so far, and we finished second 3 times, the first 3. And yeah, I mean, it's been good. I mean, it's a hell of a show here. It's a big event. I mean, there's hundreds of cars. I mean, it's very impressive to see what these guys can put together as an event. I mean, it's a fun deal to be a part of, you know?
Absolutely.
So Max, is Bobby Hake. Congratulations on running so good with the Legends cars. How bad are the announcers butchering your name out there so far? You know, some of those guys, they got a little bit more hillbilly twang than I do. They got to be butchering your name. Do they come and talk to you before the races?
Yeah, but I mean, you know how that is. I mean, I kind of gave up a long time ago on that, you know. I mean, there's a few people that can do it right, and Ronnie and you are one of the few, I think, that can do it. So, I mean, I miss that for sure.
So Max, and I know if you got to go, no más dime, and we'll work with it. So let's talk about MCM this year. So you guys have taken a big step, going off, and I mean, kind of maybe still based here, but getting out and doing different things. Every time I turn around, you've got fleets of drivers and different series and so forth. And now with the Legend, kind of talk about everything that you guys are doing, ahorita.
Yeah, well, we moved here officially probably around 2 months ago. I mean, it's been a lot of fun. We've enjoyed it. It's definitely, obviously, a change, but we've enjoyed it a lot. And like I said, we started this Legend program actually between Kenneth Canales, one of my guys, and I. We put this deal together to just start a program. It's been very good so far. I mean, it's a fast car. We've learned a lot on that. We have late models here in the Cars Tour Pro late, on the Saps Tour, and on the Carolina Pro late, with Toro Rodriguez. We have JP Vallarta. He used to race Legacy there, actually, in Houston. So he just finished third this last weekend in Hickory on his second late model race. We've had some guys from Spain, Enrique Ferrer, our guy from Houston too. I mean, we've had probably around 6 different guys here, and I mean, we've enjoyed it a lot. They finish good, and yeah, the level is strong for sure, but I mean, it's cool to be here and just be able to travel to different tracks on a short distance, right? I mean, that's kind of fun. But yeah, I mean, just working hard on that. We started our karting program again from the road course cards. So we have that too, to just be in shape with our guys and stuff. I mean, just learn different styles of racing, right? So yeah, I mean, it's been fun. We've enjoyed it, and like I said, we're just working hard to be better every time, you know?
Absolutely.
So, Max, you touched on it a little bit. Hey, dude, what's it like in North Carolina? The complete difference being there with everybody, especially right around Charlotte, into Mooresville, up in Kannapolis and all that. I mean, those people, everybody born and bred to be into racing nonstop. That's got to be so different than it is here down in Texas and South Texas, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a different scene because here a lot of these guys is their living, right? So I mean, they take this 100%. I mean, literally as their job because that's what it is, and most of them, I mean, it's just a different industry. It's nothing. How to explain it? So it's so much of it, right? That it's kind of like a normal thing here, you know. I mean, everybody races and everybody has some kind of racing background, or they work for a NASCAR team or whatever, right? I mean, it's just the industry is here, so I mean, it's fun just to get to know all this and be a part of it. But I definitely miss Texas, and I hope to go back to Houston this year and run probably, hopefully, at least at 2 of them. I really want to get back on my modified there and just have some fun with our guys, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely a different environment, yeah, because like I said, here is kind of like their way of life, like their everyday way of life, right? So I mean, it's cool.
And Max, I bet it's got to be different. Like when you were talking about where you've got a lot of tracks that are all together. For one, they're pavement tracks for the most part. But like here in Texas, a lot of people tell me, well, you've got a lot of pavement or a lot of dirt tracks in Texas. And I'm like, yeah, but one's in Corpus, one's in Waco. There's a lot of them in Dallas. And I mean, that's a long ass way. Kind of talk to that right there. They're all clustered up, a bunch of like historic asphalt tracks up that way.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like on dirt in a way in Texas, but yeah, it's a little bit closer together here. Like, for example, we have our shop is in Mooresville, and we have Caraway like 50 minutes, like 45 minutes away, and then you have Ace like 30 minutes more away of that, and then on the other side you have Hickory 30 minutes away. Tri-County is like 15 minutes more. It's like they're literally pretty much together. Like it's like 7 miles away, right? And then you have Florence, you have, I mean, a lot of them, right? I mean, so yeah, it's cool, but at the same time, that also makes it a little bit tough on the industry in a way where, I mean, everything's so, I mean, there's so much of it that car counts are hard to deal with here because you have a lot of tracks racing on the same weekend. It's kind of like on dirt in Texas in a way. But I mean, yes, definitely the car counts are still strong. But I mean, imagine if all those cars will run in one single track in a weekend. I mean, you have 50 cars every weekend, right? So, I mean, but it's cool. I mean, it's a cool deal to race, and yeah, I mean, you have everything here. Millbridge too. I mean, every Wednesday for the micros and all that stuff, and I mean, there's a little bit of everything. So yeah, I mean, it's fun. And also, I mean, this like the legend stuff, right? I mean, it's so big here, and the bandoleros and all that. And I mean, Texas, I'm very impressed and happy how that class has been growing. You know, I mean, it's I mean, 20 cars every race in Houston. I mean, I think that's very promising, and I really hope it grows even more, because these cars, I mean, now I understand why all these NASCAR guys race it at some point, because I mean, it teaches you so much. You know, it's you're on the limit, a lot of power for the weight, and I mean, they're fun things to drive. You know,
absolutely.
Well, it's got to be fun, Max, because you don't get involved halfway, man. When you jump into it, you jump in with both feet. What all that talk about NASCAR going to Brazil, because it's really popular down there. They talked about taking the Clash to Brazil and all of that. how close and how reactive are your drivers from, in Mexico and Brazil and stuff like that? How reactive are they when they hear that NASCAR, the big boys, could be coming that far south?
Well, I mean, it's a big hype, definitely. And I mean, I can really say it's gonna be like for sure thing, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen. I don't know exactly when, but sooner than we think. But they're definitely gonna go at some point to Brazil, and it's gonna be a huge thing over there. I mean, it's gonna be. I mean, everybody's so crazy about it, and there's already guys wanting to like find rides to race that race, like, and stuff like that. I mean, it's just, I mean, I know whenever it happens it's going to be a huge thing. And I think the US is going to be impressed of the fan base that is over there, that, I mean, it can obviously add value to the brand as NASCAR, right?
Yeah. I think one of the things, Max, that you told me a long time ago when it came to whether it was Mexico or Brazil, whichever one, that I think people are realizing now that the Cup Series went and raced in Mexico City. You told me, you said the folks in Mexico think of the drivers as like, airline or Air Force pilots. I mean, they're superstars, they're rock stars, the biggest rock star, the biggest movie star you can find. That's the way that those folks think of the drivers. And coming out of Mexico, that was the one thing that I heard where it's like, we can't believe how the Mexicanos were so excited to have those people racing in their spot. Kind of your thoughts on all of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like pretty much the same as the Brazil thing, right? I mean, the fans over there are so passionate about racing and just passionate about sports in general that, I mean, are like huge fans, and they were super happy and impressed about, I mean, just the event in general, right? I mean, those cars are very impressive to watch, comparing to, like, let's say an F1 that they're kind of used to now. I mean, they're so much more noisy, and the racing is so much closer. And I mean, they were just super hyped up about just the whole event in general. And I mean, I think the acceptance of the event was huge, and hopefully they keep going back there and just make it even bigger every time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think the reception for the Mexico race was great. I think the perception of it, of having the logistics of going from Laredo all the way down to Mexico City, I think it opened a lot of eyes to how big and important that race was. The after effect of that, have you already seen more interest from the people in North Carolina about some of your Mexican drivers and Brazil drivers and stuff like that? Has that opened up their eyes when they got to watch some of that NASCAR Mexico Series racing down there, when they got to do part of the doubleheader with NASCAR?
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, that same thing kind of happened at the Clash in LA when NASCAR Mexico raced with them.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I think it was last year. So, I mean, the drivers in Mexico and the series in general is very fun and competitive, and there's some good guys there. So they definitely saw, I mean, the amount of talent that we can have, with the right tools and everything. I think there can be good drivers coming out of there to here and be successful, right? I mean, it just takes obviously opportunities and just right timing, you know.
They need to put you in a Xfinity car, Max. That's what I'm thinking. You need to go race at Hermanos Rodriguez. That's what I want to see. Last one for me. So the rest of the year for you guys, and I mean, obviously, we hope that you get back to Houston at some point. But I mean, just for you guys, still any particular events that are really sticking out for you guys, for any of your drivers that y'all are looking forward to that are coming up as we kind of get towards the end of the season?
Well, I think the next event is this weekend, the throwback at Hickory. We're gonna run the Cars Tour with Toro Rodriguez there on the pro lates. We'll see how that goes. It's going to be a super, super tough race. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, hopefully do as best as we can there. Then the 16, we have actually an announcement where Tristan Peña, Texas Tornado, is going to race with us at the Cars Tour at Anderson on the Whataburger car there.
Nice.
So that's going to be pretty good. And like I said, just Matthew Remore, actually, the guy that, I mean, he started with us in the trucks in Houston. He raced a late model race a couple of months ago. We're looking forward to have him for a couple more here. And I mean, just a lot of races in the SAPS Tour, some on the Cars Tour, and Carolina, and just finish the year strong with whatever opportunity we have to be at a high level, you know.
Absolutely.
Well, Max, best of luck, dude. Thank you for making time for us. I know that you've been really, really busy. We always love talking to you, dude, because you're one of a kind and you're one of our favorites. So thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Best of luck tonight in the Legends cars, and hell, maybe we'll see you in Houston, or maybe Rodney and I'll come down and see the shop in Mooresville one weekend or something. Come hang out with you, have some cervezas, and watch some racing.
Yeah, man. Anytime. I mean, you guys have a home here. I mean, anytime you want to come, and like I said, I appreciate the invitation, and sorry that it was a little bit hectic at some point, but I thought I wasn't going to be able to make it, but it worked out perfectly. Actually, I'm the next class here to race, so we should be, I mean, it was perfect timing, right? So, I mean, everything worked out well, and I appreciate the support from everyone there, and I hope to be back in Houston soon to race there with you guys and just have fun like always, you know.
Yeah, and we'll definitely keep track with the race, Max, and we'll let everybody know how it all works out if they can get their shit together over there and get you on the track, my man. So appreciate it, hermano. We'll talk soon, dude. Good luck.
Thank you. Have a good one, and thanks for the invitation.
You got it, my brother.
Guys.
You bet. Take care.
All right. Bye.
You bet. There he goes, the great Max Calles. Hey, another milestone hit tonight, live from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
That's right.
Oh man, that's great.
That's a hell of a deal they got, and it has been blowing and going like that at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and then they got that big one at Atlanta.
Yeah.
On Thursday nights. That deal in Charlotte, that Legends car deal has been going for what, 25, 30 years there in Charlotte on a weeknight show. You got everybody. They got Bubba Wallace runs one up there. You got Scott McLaughlin and SVG or teammates racing a pair of Legends cars against Bubba Wallace and some of those guys. So they just out having a good time. That you talk about some fun on social media is watching or reading the comments and stuff between SVG and Scott McLaughlin about racing Legends cars with Bubba Wallace and some of those other guys, gals, kids, and adults out there at the summer shootout there, the Cookout Summer Shootout there in Charlotte. So
and you know what? One of the things about it is I really wish that, because remember TMS at one point was a pretty good little hotbed for that as well. But I mean, like everything else around here, it kind of fell off. But that's where, if you could get TMS back involved, but I mean, I think a lot of that is like those events that you're talking about there, that the track is very active in it, to where Texas Motor Speedway, that they kind of saw the writing on the wall right there. I mean, because like the other part of what Max was talking about there about how the Legends are doing so well here, man, that's when we talk about homegrown, that's a homegrown thing. I mean, we've talked to the guys here to where it's like, that's like DCRST was, that's one guy and a couple of other people that are just making this thing happen and blowing it all up. But yeah, the Legends, man, that's huge, and they're really entertaining to watch. I know back in the day, maybe I wasn't the biggest fan of the Legends, and then when I sat my fat ass in that dwarf is kind of when everything changed, where I'm like, holy smoke, are you kidding me? I would love to drive a Legend right now. Those just look like, compared to the dwarf, I mean, the dwarfs now are a lot different than the dwarf that I have, but it's like, I just think that those would be so cool. I think they'd be so cool to drive. And I'm glad that division once again is doing what it's doing.
I got a feeling that Jamie Call could probably hook you up racing the Legends car in Houston. Think of the promotion. You thought we could do some promotion with you at Texana Raceway Park.
Yeah,
Think about what
yeah.
we could do with the promotion of you coming back into a Legend car at Houston Motorsports Park.
Because I think with dirt, we knew. I think we pretty much had the expectation what was going to happen. You know, and it was. I remember after the second time I drove the dirt car, Riley Heil came up after practice. She's like, "You won practice," and I'm like, "That's probably going to be the highlight because nobody passed me." Is pretty much what she was saying. But yeah, man, it's just it is because these Tues, and that's the other thing that's just so different over there. But it's kind of well, no, I guess it's really not to where over there we're talking about a Tuesday night and they've got this huge program with just tons of classes, you know, like we talk about with Slinger and all the different places where it's like, Wednesday night spectacular and cars tours are running on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And it's just a different, but like Max said, that's the bread that's their job. That is their job. I mean, for most of us, it's fun. We treat it like a job, but that's what they do. That's how they make their livelihood.
It's just you and I both been over there. It's so different.
Oh, totally different.
It's so the atmosphere at a racetrack is there's still people that go there to have fun, but it is a business trip when you go to like the Legend stuff. When you go to Millbridge, some of those poor kids, it's like you think some of the parents are hard on the kids that play softball, baseball, little league type of stuff like that, pee-wee football. Some of them parents, man, those poor kids are putting up with some parents that think the kid may not be the next Jeff Gordon, but the parents think so. And those kids put up with a lot over there. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, and it's that way in every sport, but man, it's tough when you see a kid trying to give his all. That's why I like the setups that, with our friends where we've seen that third and fourth generation of racer come through, like with Case James starting out in a quarter midget. Mason Teague and Myatt in a quarter midget. You got Logan
Jake's kids,
Logan's kid or Logan
Bruce's grandkid,
right? Yeah, Logan Wright. Coming in being a fourth generation racer. So
yeah,
it's cool to see that, but at the same time, man, when you get over there, it is just brutal over there. But there's still people trying to have fun.
And I'll tell you, and that's the thing about over there that like when you have a street stock class, it is a street stock class. Those people, they are just out there for fun. I mean, they want to win as bad as anybody else, but they know where they are, and you don't have all of these different things that you have in other parts of the country, like here, where it's like all of this money that's in the, yes, it happens. It does happen. But it's just over there, if you want to spend a lot of money, you do it in something else. And that's a great thing about like when we talk to Boo and them with the Star Superstock Tour, to where it's like, here's the rules, follow them. All this other happy horse shit you want to do it somewhere else. You do it somewhere else. I mean, that's where it's very different. And I think that's a lot of what put us in the spot that we are here with Pavement. And to your point about the pressure on the kids, I think like when we see these young kids that don't have respect for equipment and aren't doing, I think a lot of that is because the parents here, there, everywhere are just so hard on them. You go out and you do whatever you have to do. And I think that you learn that way, and it just never goes away. I mean, it never goes away.
Yeah, I think because that's part of the mentality. Like the parents are like, or the funder, whatever you want to call it. We usually say parents, but it could be the funder of those rides doesn't care how many cars you take out to get that checkered flag, because they got enough money to buy a new one. Yeah, and another one, and another one after that, and they don't give a shit how much shit you tear up to get there. And so, it sometimes is a black eye to the sport. We can have a full-fledged conversation and have all kinds of social media stuff getting fired up about it, but it's not going away. And as we said on the show many times, it's always been about money. Pepsi Cola and Mountain Dew would have paid Darrell Waltrip any amount of money he said, write the check to get him to go from Gatorade over to Pepsi and Junior Johnson.
Yeah.
It's always been about money.
Yeah, and that's why I tell that story all the time about the deal with me, to where once again, very very much different scale, but I can only talk from personal experience, to where when I realized, when I started racing street stocks, I'm like, damn, if I use the nose, I can like pass, quarter mile tight racetrack. It's like, man, you got a really strong front end. If you move people out of the way and run them over and whatever, man, that works. I mean, that's what you have to do. And of course you're tearing stuff up because you're causing problems. And I did that a couple of times. And after the second time, of replacing upper control arms and replacing ball joints and replacing all these different body panels and shit that I'm not the most skilled at doing, and I'm not skilled at it at all. Yeah, Dad's doing all this. It's like, look, the next time you do it, the next time that you want to do that, you're changing all this shit, and that car will be back out when you have it ready. And I watched him do it, and I'm like, I can't do that. Yeah, I mean, it's like, and it's one of those conversations that needed to be had, to where it's like, if something happens on the track, I totally get that. But if you're going to get out there and be a dumbass and just do those things, that's not how you race. That's not how you race. So
how's the enduro car coming? Any update on that after you put the motor in it?
I don't ask. There's that's for me to know, and I'll know when it's time for me to know. So anyway,
SuperTech 600 coming up.
No pressure. Well, they got the one coming up.
They got the 100. They got the 100 coming up on the 16th.
That's the one Dad had to race, because it's 100 laps. Yeah. Not all that well. I mean, he's in fine shape. I mean, he could probably run 100 laps before I could. So anyway, yeah, I don't know.
Just curious. I ain't heard anything about it. Seen any pictures, so I don't know.
Yeah, well, there's been some. Well, you've had some family. Had some folks kind of under the weather and so forth. So it's kind of taken priority. And that's the other thing that we've learned after all these years, where it would have been in the past, 30 years ago, so and so's not feeling well or not doing well. Oh, they'll be fine. Let's go get the car ready. That's the way. That's like the racers around here. Oh, the rent's due. That's all right. We got to go get tires. The rent will get figured out. That's kind of the way all that works. Speaking of short track racing and so forth, Stuart Friesen, and this to the other conversation we had the news today. Stuart Friesen, that dude got jacked up.
Did you see that, Rick? Good Lord, got Tebow from the roof.
And this is where I go. I understand the passion and I understand all of that, but it's like, and from some of the stuff that I've read in a couple of different places, it's like, man, that racetrack's kind of not the most, obviously it doesn't have safer barriers, doesn't have all that stuff, but it's like,
I don't even think it had a tire at the end of that cement wall.
He did what Steve Klestenek did at Austin. He did the old, into the concrete. I mean, at some point, and I get the whole thing. I think that one reason that Christopher, you asked him at the press conference at COTA, to where I think one of the reasons that he fired off so great this season was all the dirt track racing that he did.
But he managed late model racing with Donnie Wilson too.
Yeah, and he managed to avoid not getting hurt. But like even Larson, Larson had that hellacious crash, during his drought right there after the double, and it's like, I mean, at some point, I get it, but this is your livelihood. I mean, don't go run them janky places, especially in a dirt late model. Holy smoke. That was scary. That was real damn
rough. Scary. Fractured pelvis in more than one spot and a fractured right leg. They didn't say where, but he's got basically a broken pelvis in more than one spot and a broken leg out of that deal, which if you saw that wreck, it's all over social media. You can find it if you go to look for it. It was that hit against the wall or the whatever that was rough enough. But then when he comes back on the track and basically gets T-boned while he's in the air on the top side, like it was rough. Like it was, but he was awake and alert at the racetrack. He was just in a lot of pain. I'd never broken a pelvis, but I can only imagine how much that hurts.
Oh God. And I mean, I've gotten some dinged up ribs before. I've never broken one, thank goodness. But it's like the rib is one of the things to where it hurts to laugh. It hurts to, if something's not right there, it hurts to laugh.
Take a breath,
take a shit. Whatever you're doing. And I can only imagine the pelvis. And I saw some people on social media. Well, what about the truck playoffs? Well, he's not going to be be in them.
No. He's not going to race for the rest of 2025.
That dude's going to be lucky to race at Daytona. I mean, and that's Stuart Friesen. I love that guy. Jessica. I mean, that's a great team right there. But it's like that's just kind of his luck, isn't it? It's like
he's had some pretty bad luck here the last 2 years.
Yeah. It's like you got it. You got the win. You got your team in the playoffs. Part of me is like, don't race at the dirt track. Just don't.
I don't know. Sometimes racers are their own worst enemies.
That's right. But all the best to Friesen there. He's They said he's feeling better. I don't know how much. He must have been feeling really bad if they said he's better. God,
yeah,
that sounds horrific. But we got a great weekend coming up. We'll get to that in a minute. Where they were, Max was talking about the Throwback Classic. That's one of my all-time favorite races. I've been lucky a couple of times in the closet over there. I've got some throwback shirts that friends have mailed me. By the way, if anybody's going, mail me another one, XL, please. Because those, man, that just, and the schemes this year look really good.
They keep announcing them. Yeah, you keep seeing them on social media. They do 3 at a time, basically. Our man, Caden Honeycutt.
Yeah.
Running a David Pearson throwback scheme with Cook Electric.
Absolutely. Looking sharp, some of those. But before we preview what's coming up, kind of what we just went through, one of my favorite listens every week, and I guess he does this. I don't think he does it every day. I don't catch it every day, but it is Coffee with Kenny, with our man Kenny Wallace, because he just kind of, that's one of those guys where he was in NASCAR media, and you and I have talked about where NASCAR media, it's like, it's a very fine line. I think that you have to walk, and I get that. But I watch a lot of NFL too, and there's a lot of people that talk about the NFL that don't toe the company line. I think that's why I'm so soured on so much of that. But Kenny was, and I even posted something on Lone Star Speed Zone about, Bubba Wallace. I'm just like jabbing at people about the Bubba Wallace thing. I know I'm overcooking shit, and I just like to get people fired up. But the whole thing about nobody's there, nobody's at Indianapolis, nobody's there. Kenny Wallace's thoughts, and think about this. Think about everything that Kenny Wallace is about to say the next time that you're going to say nobody's at the track. Here's Coffee with Kenny from Monday.
In a new society, sports is geared for TV because people don't enjoy, and they don't have to go to the events anymore. So you ask yourself, if there's nobody in Indy, why do they keep going back? I know the answer. Because they don't need you at the grandstands. And I know you fucking hate hearing that. You hate it because you think if there's no people in the grandstands, you're going to get a prize. Look, there's nobody in the grandstands. Well, number one, you're not there, but you're watching it on TV. Let's think about it. If you're saying, look, there's nobody in the grandstands, that means you're watching it on TV. So you paid, and NASCAR got your money. And you think they didn't, but you did. You paid to watch that TV.
I mean, is there a better way to say it? He even threw an F-bomb in there.
Sounds like some of the stuff that we can catch on our replays and in the archives.
Yeah.
The pandemic proved one thing very, very clear. Now, yes, the Indy 500 purse got cut by a lot because you're losing out on a gate of about 350,000 people. That TV rules this sport. Whether we want to admit it or not, there's been talk about TV wanting a different style of playoff potentially coming up next year. Whatever the case may be, you probably won't see it in 26. I bet we see something changing in 27. But when the pandemic hit and NASCAR was the first major sport back, they were able to run these races without fans. That shows you how much money and control that the television partners have.
Yep.
Wednesday night racing from Charlotte, because there was nobody there. You could what anything else on, so you get to watch NASCAR racing, in the middle of the week, Wednesday, Thursday night. That was because the power of the television, And like you say, sometimes it's the same deal we have with streamers. If I live close to Mobile, Alabama, and I live close to Pensacola, Florida, I need to get my ass to those two racetracks. If I sit on my couch in Texas and watch the Mobile races and watch the Pensacola races on Racing America, then that's probably a good thing because they're expanding their market out to Texas. But if I live close, I need to get my ass there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's really the whole thing about it is that you can look, and that's where so many people are like, because I heard this with Iowa. I heard this with Iowa with IndyCar, to where it's like Iowa didn't promote that race very much. They don't have to. They're going to get paid from the TV rights. That's where all of that money is. That the track is going. You are the one hosting the venue, and that really was the thing with the pandemic, really. And that's a great point by you, because you had all these races in empty places, and I turned on ESPN in the middle of the night the other night. I couldn't sleep, and I turned on one of the ESPNs. I don't even know what it was. And I saw this even bigger when we were in Mexico, because in Mexico they have ESPN 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 5 ESPNs numbered just like that. And I turned that shit on, Bobby, and there's cornhole from 2020. They're playing horseshoes. They're playing.
That's the Ocho. Yeah, it's on DirecTV.
Yeah,
and other providers. Yeah, it's actually ESPN the Ocho. They show all that crazy shit.
Yeah, and it's like that. That really is, everything is driven by television. I mean, NFL. I don't know, unless I'm given a really great opportunity, if I will ever go to another NFL game again, because I don't have to. I can sit here and quite frankly, that goes for a NASCAR race also. I mean, I will go to Indianapolis just to say that I finally did that, but I can sit here. Tom McKay came in here and set all this shit up to where if I go to an NFL game, hell, quite frankly, if I go to I don't know, it would have to be like a national championship game or something. I would be disappointed because I'm not going to get the same effect that I have right here, because I don't have a vested interest in any football team other than that I have to report and talk about one all day. But I can do that here because it's a better view. So
and better replays,
better
sound,
yeah,
and cheaper beer.
I mean, all of that. But it really is that he's right, and people are going to take that, and it's a business decision. The track don't care if you go or not, because they are going to make their money because you're watching it there. And you're only giving them more run because you're going to sit there and bitch and complain and talk about the race. So it's like, okay, that's great. Tracks are happy. That's how that's their revenue. And that's a great model for the tracks from NASCAR. You know, I think that's genius.
Indy wish they had that model.
Oh,
IndyCar wishes they had the NASCAR model.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's where, I mean, if you want to talk about these lawsuits and all this stuff about, monopolizing, well, yeah. I mean, yeah, they have. Who else can do that? Who else can pay that kind of money to all these racetracks again? I mean, I know a lot of the racetracks, and that's where people say, well, SMI owns them and all this, whatever. That doesn't matter. That's Fox's money. That's TNT's money. That's NBC's money. That's just where NASCAR is that damn smart. So,
they 7-year, $7.7 billion TV deal. They know what the hell they're doing. Do the quick math. That's $1 billion a year. Now, does that come close to SEC rights? Not really. Southeastern Conference. Does that come close to Big Ten rights? Nah, not close. Nobody's touching NFL rights. Nobody.
Yeah, no.
Nobody's touching that. But for what it is, that was for 4 partners. 4 partners to get what the money that NASCAR got on this last TV deal starting in 2025. That is pretty damn impressive. And all people want to do is bitch about it.
Yeah. And that's why, the whole thing, well, they don't have a title sponsor. They don't need one. They don't need one. I mean, it's.
Although they still have to replace Xfinity on the Xfinity series, which we hadn't heard anything about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what may be happening with that. I mean, there hasn't been any rumblings. I mean, the way that NASCAR operates, you can get frustrated with them all you want, but boom, we'll probably just get some week, in about a month, it'll be like, okay, press conference coming on Wednesday, and boom, here we go. We've got a announcement. Maybe it'll be that company, that CEO that got fired. Maybe
astronomer.
Maybe it'll be astronomer. That would be that'd be genius if NASCAR could pull them in.
Genius. They had the lead singer in Coldplay, their ex-wife Gwyneth Paltrow, is their that's their new spokesperson over at Astronomer.
I saw that.
That is a genius PR move.
And the whole thing is, I mean, it sucks for Mrs. Astronomer's whatever her name is. I can't think of the dude's name.
It don't suck for her because she's getting 50% everything that guy's got, if not more than that.
It was probably not a good relationship anyway. And she's like, thank you. She had probably called, Thomas J. Henry at some point, and it's like, okay, I got to figure out how to get out of this, but I'm going to need to do this, and boom, there you go. Done. God, what a mess. Yeah. Astronomer. God, I didn't even know what that was. When I saw Astronomer, I thought that it would like the dude was
an actual astronomer. Yeah.
I thought he was an astronaut. I'm like, that guy doesn't look familiar, but, God, I tell you, social media just took off with that one. It's like, dude, it's everywhere.
The only thing that took off from that is all the Hulk Hogan memes after that.
Yeah. It's like, holy smoke. I tell you, we're an easily entertained society, aren't we? To where it's like that kind of shit happens and it just goes on. But and this is your life. This is where we talk about Hulk Hogan passing away and all the deaths that we've had. I mean, things can change that fast because, hey, I became a really big fan of Haley Welch, the Haktua girl.
Mm-hmm.
I still think she's great, but everybody hates her. Everybody hates her now.
Her 15 minutes of fame ran out in about 13 minutes.
And that's where, like, even with that, I don't even know where we're going at this point, but it's like when I see all that, I'm like, okay, you're dumb enough that some girl that you've never heard of tells you to spend money on whatever she was peddling, coins, and your dumb ass did it, and you're going to be mad at her. Come on, man. Oh, God. I don't. It's a crazy world, and that's why I like with racing. It's like the stuff that we see. It's like that's just part of the way we're wired these days, right? I don't know. Herman also had some thoughts on Bubba Wallace because and look, I'm here to tell you that dude. It's very easy for him to rub you the wrong way because, like, even before races, when they go up and ask him something, and a lot of that for me is like, well, maybe he's nervous. I don't know what I know that, I mean, if I were going to race tomorrow, even after years and years and years of being behind the wheel of a car, I still get a little edgy and I kind of want to be left alone, but that's not what happens in the NASCAR Cup world. But that dude has the tendency to just kind of make you want to, with the way he acts. But so Kenny had some thoughts on Bubba Wallace as well on coffee with Kenny. And I wonder what Kenny really has in that coffee.
That whole situation. Okay. What I mean by that is that wasn't his deal. That was not his deal. All of a sudden it just got plopped right on his doorstep. So I don't even pay attention to that whole situation that happened at Talladega. It's like la. It's like, man, he's the one and only. Bubba's the one and only, and all of a sudden, the whole world turned on him and hated him. I definitely did not like that. I did not like the angry mob coming at one man. Just imagine for a minute you being one person in life and an angry mob just coming at you when you're like, whoa, what the hell happened here? At the time everything went down at Talladega, he wasn't even at the racetrack.
That whole thing goes back to kind of the preface of that is I can totally understand not liking him because of and that thing there. I mean, whatever, kind of like what Kenny's talking about right there. But it's like I can understand you not liking him, but it was just a total shift and I did see a little bit after Sunday. That dude earned that win. I mean, he held off the best damn driver in my opinion in the world on Sunday.
Well, and the other people showed it too, like his competitors, his colleagues. when they were coming up and congratulating him after the win in the cars, and then how many people actually came up to him after the races was over in victory lane, and when they were about to kiss the bricks and stuff like that. So he's somewhat liked. I don't know if we can say well liked. He's got his close niche, set of guys, but I mean, I think it was a popular win, and I mean, the only thing missing there was Michael Jordan, but Jordan ain't gonna show up to no races. They're in the middle of a lawsuit, so.
Yeah, that's the other part about that, and that was like you and I were texting to where, and I told you I'm like somebody's going to jump out and say this is the first brother that's won a race at Indianapolis, which that's a big deal. I mean that really is a big deal.
ESPN finally jumps on it like 2-3 hours later. It took 3 hours for it to go mainstream.
To me, the bigger deal is what you said. I mean, I don't care what color he is. The charter thing.
Yeah, the charter, the first unchartered team to win a NASCAR Cup Series race.
Yeah, I mean, to me that's a bigger deal. I mean, if we really want, if the media really wants to be fair, I mean, judge it by that, because I know they have the sponsorship. I know that the money's all there. I know they have the Gibbs backing and TRD. Yeah, that's all there. But the matter of fact is that a non-chartered team just won a Triple Crown race at that. And I mean, I would have
somewhere they talk about how much money he lost. Like they lost like a third of the purse.
Yeah. And the other thing about it is, I think what makes that win so even better for him, Bubba Wallace, again, I mean, the first African-American driver, that's great. But the fact is, if I were going to, when all this was going down, my whole thought was, well, Reddick's going to be fine. He's close enough in points, and he's probably going to win a race before we get to the end anyway. Bubba was the one, because you remember as this was going on, there were a lot of people saying, well, you think somebody could come poach Tyler Reddick? Yeah, somebody could get him to break his contract and go drive for a charter team. There's no mention about Bubba Wallace, where I'm thinking, Bubba Wallace you want to talk about Bubba Wallace being an asshole. If I'm Bubba Wallace, I'm waiting for him to come out and say, what about me? So is hey, Indy, nobody there. Bubba wins. Hey, everybody's happy.
Sure were a lot of people that claimed they didn't watch it had an opinion about that winner.
Yeah, well, and that's where it just goes back to the first Kenny Wallace sound clip that we had is you're only helping make the money right there for the premise of there's nobody in the stands. You're in the stands because you're paying. You may not be, you don't have a ticket to show for it when it's all said and done. You don't have a keepsake. You don't have any of that, but you're padding the pockets of NASCAR. Because that's, and the tracks, which
whether
is good.
Whether you're sitting in the Barker Lounger or you're sitting in this grandstand, if your eyeballs are watching a car run around that racetrack, it's the exact same thing nowadays.
Yeah. And this is where I go back to the short track thing, to where it's like, so obviously short tracks don't have the same setup that the NASCAR Cup Series and the Xfinity Series has with the CW, to where it's like, this is where with the streaming thing, because we've had this conversation as well, because it's been kind of a hot button topic here in Texas as of late, to where it's like, okay, not going to stream because we want people at the racetrack. And I totally get that. And I get the whole thing with, well, I can't go to the racetrack. I don't want to go to the, that's the other thing that we learned through the pandemic. But if this whole thing is set up, and I don't know how these things are set up, I don't, that's not my avenue. My avenue is to sit here with you and talk about this and give our ideas. If this thing is set up to where this is okay for like what we're talking about with NASCAR, if you go to the local track and there's 100 people, but there's all these people watching on streaming, if that's financially okay for the racetrack, then that's okay. But most of the time, I think, if you go to a local short track, not just here in Texas, anywhere, if there's nobody in the crowd, and nobody watching, or a lot of people watching, it's the same plan. And again, I don't know how those things work, but it's a totally different model, because that's night and day when it comes to that.
Yeah, two different completely models, two different types of scenarios there. But like I said, you have to support your local racetrack. It is that simple. Whether it comes down to I don't want to go, I can't go, whatever the case may be, you have to, even in the era of streaming and Facebook Live, you got to support your local racetrack. You just have to, because you're the ones that are keeping it open. It's the people that are watching from 100 miles away, 200 miles away that are helping keep the lights on. There's a difference between helping keep the lights on and helping keep the place open. Two separate things. You know, keeping the door open is one thing. Helping to keep the lights on, that's something else. Because when they get the money from the streamers that helps pay for the light bill, that helps keep the lights on. But the butts in the seat help keep the gate open and back up again.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they are, and I mean, if you go to a track, buy a hot dog. I don't care if it's any good or not. I mean, it's not going to be a $12 hot dog like it costs at Charlotte or TMS or wherever else. I mean, I know a lot of tracks don't sell beer. Have a designated driver if they do, and then buy some beer, drink some beer there. I mean, buy a Coke, yeah, you know, because that's all revenue that the racetrack needs, and it really is. I mean, the bottom line comes down to with this whole scenario, with the NASCAR thing and with the Kenny Wallace thing. Yeah, a lot of people probably want to go to the race, but where it's changed so much is, and I hear this all the time, to where it's like, and this isn't NASCAR. This is the world. This is, and not just in the United States. It is really, really hard to go to a race because it's, you can have the $99 ticket deal, but the tickets are, I mean, that's a drop in the bucket. I mean, shit, that's easy. That's easy. It's all the other stuff.
Yeah, tickets are the easy part. It's coordinating the trip to get there, the gas to get there, the hotel, the food, the traffic. All that is the tickets are the easy part.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you go, and I mean, you got to get Junior a keepsake. You know, hey, yeah. Kyle Larson's my favorite driver. Let me go get you a $45 cap.
I mean, you know, I thought about taking the nephews to the Monster Truck Show in San Antonio, the Hot Wheels one.
Yeah.
Tickets were $40 a piece. There's $120 right there. That wasn't necessarily the bad part. It was going to be the $20 to pay to park there at the Frost Bank Center in San Antonio.
Yeah.
The gas to get down there, the time, a little over an hour, about an hour and 15 minutes from my place down to San Antonio. And then the merch. You cannot take a young child to a Monster Truck Show and expect him not buy anything.
Yeah. Yeah. When Tracy and I were in Mexico last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever that was, we were laughing because we were walking through one of the nights. They had we saw a fire show. They were twirling fire sticks and all this other stuff. And there were all these vendors that were set up there, and they had teddy bears and all these really neat little, you know, knick-knack things and all this, whatever. I don't know what any of that shit cost, but we were walking through there, and we go by the teddy bears and we go by the little toys and all that. And Tracy's like, remember when we would take the girls somewhere and it's like, I want this, I want that. And, oh, this would be, and, you know, somebody's going to say, well, you don't have to get it for them. You don't want to be, you know, an asshole like that about that. I mean, and then, you know, the kid, well, you get one thing, you know, it's really hard. And that is the good thing about local tracks. That you know, it's still somewhat economical, I think. I haven't been in
most part. I mean, you know, tickets about $20.
Yeah, you know, so it's a good show. But that's the other part about it is, you want to spend $20, or would you rather your $20 go to the racetrack and stay at home? I'm just old. I love being there. I'm actually, I was going to message you. I've got a standing meeting that, standing since I've gotten the job that I have right now, that is usually the first weekend in December. That thing has been moved out to like right before Christmas. I'm like, you know what? I might go to the Snowball Derby.
Might be a good time to go back to the Derby.
Yeah, I think I might just go to the Derby and watch the damn races. Because that's still a good deal. $140 for that whole time.
And speaking of that, I think the reserve tickets are only good until Friday.
Yeah.
The 1st, August 1st is tickets open right back up. So if you have not got your tickets to the Snowball Derby, got to call Miss Pat and them to get your tickets renewed right there before Friday.
Yeah, because if you don't, we might get your tickets. So yeah. Or maybe they'll give us some. Oh, well, that's a whole different discussion. But I don't think they're going to give us anything. But yeah, so boy, this has just gone into church. This is the time where if you want to come up for communion, we'll give you communion. Bobby has his beer there, and I have my beer, and we'll give you your communion after all of this preaching that we've done. See, that's what happens when the guest thing kind of shuffles up. Thank you, Max. That's really cool that he jumped on right there. That dude is so cool. It was like if I'd have been waiting in the car and then I jump out to go talk to us, I'd have been like real short and wouldn't want to have said much. And we threw every damn thing at him. And he still, I was over here talking Spanglish to him and he's still just like, boom, answering the way that he should. But anyway, Throwback 276 or Throwback Classic coming up there at Hickory. And this is where I know that we've got our friends at Cotton Bowl Speedway that are going to be racing this weekend, but and definitely get out there. Night number 2 of the Summer Shootout Series and the Stims South Texas IMCA Modified Series will be there. God, it would have been really cool if they'd have gotten a race in Corpus because you'd have had 3 of them all in a row right there.
Yeah, only drawback is that Kennedale's running IMCA Modifieds that night too up in North Texas, so probably going to hurt the Stims car count a little bit coming this far south. But the best thing, no rain in the forecast.
Yeah. That Saturday thing was. Remember, I texted you Friday. I'm like, dude, I wouldn't leave too early because I was watching the weather, and it was like it was just supposed to swarm, and that's exactly what it did. Because we were going to do the kind of alt cast or whatever, at the race ranch. And I was all primed up. We did this test on Friday night. I mean, we're sitting here. We worked for an hour and a half. And it's like, boom, we got it. And I was out playing 18 in Pflugerville. And they're like, don't rush. It's canceled. You would text me also. First you text me, Texana's canceled. And then the King of the Hill is canceled. Holy smoke.
God. I was in Costco. Like I was trying to get some stuff done because Monty posted that video in the morning. The track looked great because it got enough water, got enough rain that the track itself looked pretty good. Grounds, you could tell, were a little wet, but not anything horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And then went into Costco, came out of Costco, and kept getting a bunch of notifications on my phone and looked down. And sure enough, it rained enough to cancel it. About an hour later, the rainstorm made its way to Corpus, canceled down there. And then I looked around a little bit more and saw that the King of the Hill got rained out too. So,
and that's what's so weird here in Texas, because it's like you look at the Texana pictures and the Corpus pictures, those places were dry before that. I mean, because we had the torrential rains a while back, but they had been able to dry up, and it was just like it just came. When I saw the Friday thing, I'm like, okay, it's not going to be that bad. I mean, golly, man, those places got tortured by rain. But you'll have Cotton Bowl Speedway. The Throwback Classic will be going on at Hickory, and that's really something cool to see. And you can watch that on Flow. And so you've got 40 late model stock cars entered in that. Josh Berry's won that 4 times. Bobby McCarty's won it 3. Alfredo's won it twice, and it's a stacked field. And I have to tell you, with the late model stock cars this year, Bobby, from just what we've seen, kind of got a little inkling that this might be the Jared Fryer time.
Is he running it? Is he running a throwback to Pops?
I don't know what he's running. I haven't seen anything for Jared Fryer, but the 14 car is entered. Caden Quapple is entered in that race. Lane Riggs, Deke McCaskill, Mason Bailey. You got a pretty good list. Caden Honeycutt, obviously in the 17H. Cade Brown is in that race. Carson Lofton, Connor Hall. So Landon Lewis, Trayton Lapovich. So you're going to have the best of the best that'll be going at it in the late model stock cars, and then 27 cars in the pros. Pretty stacked field there as well. Our man Seth Christensen is in that one. Dawson Sutton, Mason Diaz, Caden Quapple in that as well. Keelan Harvick, I saw his throwback coming today. Casey Roderick is in that. Katie Hedinger. So Spencer Davis.
That's going to be an underrated show of the weekend. It's going to be that pro show. I think that pro show at Hickory is going to be the underrated. We'll be talking about that one on Monday for better reasons than normal. I don't think it's going to turn out to be as a shit show, but I think we'll be talking about that one on Tuesday for sure.
Absolutely. And we'll, of course, recap all of that next Tuesday. And if you're a pavement fan, if you're a short track pavement fan, this is your weekend to watch a streamer and prop down at home, because you have that's going on Flow. And then obviously on Racing America, you've got at Mobile, you've got the Southern Super Series that are going to be there for that one. And their stack, Bubba Pollard is entered already there, coming off another win yet is Cole Butcher, as he won last week, the Redbud 400. You got Connor O'Kresick, Matt Craig, Dustin Smith, Jake Finch. So shit, Mobile gonna be hopping. Mobile's the one that I worry about the weather. Towards like, oh God, here we go. And if that ain't enough, and there's more, we're like that. The infomercials, UARA, the super late models will get after it with the Billy Joe Ingram Memorial 154 going on in Auburndale. You can also catch that on Racing America. So yeah,
that'll be a good one.
That's going to be really good. That's going to be really good. So pavement short track fans, a couple of streamers going to have you covered, and of course our great friends on the dirt track streamers. We'll see what Cotton Bowl and so forth. So yeah, lots of stuff going on this weekend.
I may go to I know I usually say I'm going to Cotton Bowl, but I think I am going to go this time. I got nothing else to do. So
I got to tell you, man, I need to get my ass back out there, but this is just a little bit, and what's going to happen? I tell you, it's just my luck, just my horrible luck. I'm going to sit home to watch all of these races on my Tom McKay home speedway system, and they're all going to get rained out. I'm not wishing that upon them, but I don't think that's going to happen. But that's kind of the luck that I have when it comes to doing stuff like that. Can I also say that Indianapolis, the other observation that I had, I kind of have a crush on her. Catherine Legg, top 20.
17, wasn't it?
Yeah, and not the best equipment, and still on an oval.
And there wasn't that much carnage. There was some carnage, but there really wasn't that much carnage. She earned that 17th place finish.
She did. I posted something on a thread. I said, "Hey, Cat Legg, great run for her. 17th at Indy." First reply. Well, she's raced in the Indy 500. I don't care. It's different.
They said she became the 21st person to race both the Indy 500 and the Brickyard 400.
Ooh, man.
That seems like a whole lot of people.
That's a lot. That is a lot.
Doesn't seem like that many.
Yeah.
That'll be a discussion for next week's show if I can find people who have raced in the Indy 500, and I'm sure Wikipedia will tell me. So
yeah, I'm just trying to think off the top of my head. I mean, because if you look at NASCAR, Tony, Larson.
I'm thinking of the guys that have done the double, right?
Yeah. John Andretti probably would have been one. Robbie Gordon, it's like 4. Catherine, that's 5. Shit. Yeah, because back in the the days with the Allisons both ran that, and Cale.
Oh, let's see. Hold on. Let's see here. NASCAR.com actually had it.
Oh yeah. Lay me this list because
right.
I'm curious.
This will work. All right, hold on.
See, on the fly right here, guys. On the fly. See up here where it says live.
It's pictures. They got to take a second to load. So Catherine Legg is 1. It really is 20-something people. Oh, wow. Catherine Legg is, hold on, they're still loading. I have the internet that's going to slow because we're doing the show.
So that was 1994 was the first time when that came along.
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy. Yeah, Jimmy.
Tony Stewart, you figured out.
Mm-hmm.
AJ Foyt, because he ran the first Brickyard 400.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
JPM, Juan Pablo Montoya.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Kyle Larson, obviously.
That dude should have won them both, Montoya.
Danny Sullivan. Apparently, Danny Sullivan ran the original Brickyard 400, the inaugural.
Well, I'll be a son of a gun.
Had no idea.
Yeah.
No idea. Let's see. Who is that? Jacques Villeneuve.
Oh, yeah.
Would be one. Not that many. Let's see here.
Can't forget this.
He's got one Brickyard 400 start in 2010 and 3 Indy 500 starts.
Yeah. Shane's got the other one here, the other love of my life.
Oh, yeah, Danica. There's one. Kurt Busch.
Oh, Kurt Busch, yeah.
AJ Allmendinger.
AJ, yeah.
Jeff Brabham.
Oh, yeah. He ran NASCAR? When did he do that?
Inaugural 1994.
God dang.
Huh. I don't know anything about that. Sam Hornish Jr.
Oh, yeah. Remember when he was going to put the NASCAR world on fire?
Yeah. John Andretti.
John Andretti, yeah.
Larry Foyt.
Our man Larry, the captain.
Larry Foyt. 2003 for the Brickyard 400 and 3 Indy 500 starts. Jason Leffler. 5 Brickyard 400 starts, 1 Indy 500 start back in 2000.
That's crazy.
Scott Pruitt. I didn't think about Scott Pruitt. 2 Brickyard 400 starts, 4 Indy 500 starts.
Does it say when he did those? It would have been
it doesn't say when he did it, but
Yeah.
it would have been early. He's in a tied ride, in a NASCAR ride, so he's in that 32, that Wells 32
one. Yeah.
JJ Yaley, 1 Indy 500 start in 1998 and Brickyard 400 starts. He's got 10 of those.
Sheesh.
Patrick Carpentier, 2 Brickyard 400 starts and 1 Indy 500 start in 2005. And then Robbie Gordon.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, and Max Pappas there was one more slide. Sorry. Max Pappas. Brickyard 400 in 2010. I'm assuming with Geico. And then 2 Indy 500 starts. So yeah, actually, damn, they're right. It was 20-something people. I had no idea.
There's a lot.
Talk about doing this on the fly. That's really.
Yeah, man. There's a lot of those guys that I would never have guessed.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's like Patrick Carpentier. Yeah, I'd have never gotten that one. Wow, that's good stuff right there. That is good.
Yeah.
Wow, that was kind of, it went over my head when they were talking about her doing that, of Cat Leg doing that, and when you said it, I'm like 21 bullshit. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, something like Brabham and some of those guys, you're like, you kind of forgot about it. Then you got to think about it. Like Allmendinger, like I don't know why Allmendinger. He's got the 1 Indy 500. I think he started on the pole or front row with Penske. That's when he should have won and had the damn seatbelt come off.
Yeah. And kind of to put a bow on the whole Brickyard thing. And here we are again to where it's like you do the road course thing. You wanted the oval back when you didn't really like the oval. And I'm kind of getting that feel again where the oval race wasn't that great. I mean, look, the bottom line is, and I posted this on Sunday, to where any time that it's, whether it's NASCAR or in obviously the 500, even if Formula One went back there, I like any race day at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's a big damn deal.
Yeah,
I mean,
it is the most boring of the tent pole races, right? Of the crown jewels, it is generally the more boring of them.
Yeah.
But you got to race the oval. You just got to race the oval.
Yeah, it's like, if where I'm talking about, I would probably not be more apt to go to an NFL game. If somebody gave me a great opportunity to go to Lambeau Field, I would go. But if I went to Lambeau Field, I don't care if it's cold, I don't care what it is. Green Bay played, and let's say they beat the snot out of the Detroit Lions 50-0, I would still be thoroughly entertained because of the venue.
Yeah,
and that's part of Indianapolis. It needs to be on the schedule. I don't care how many people are there. You have to have the mindset that I think what I saw, and I don't know if this is verified. Again, I see so much stuff where what was actually allotted as seating for the Brickyard 400 was about 70,000.
Yeah, the walk-up sales were a little lower compared to last year, but
so part of it is when you look down the backstretch and it's not full like the 500.
Yeah, well, when you have a place that holds 200,000 people and there's only 70,000 people sitting there, it's going to look empty.
Yeah, and this is where I go back to the whole thing, and I was waiting for that on Sunday, to where it's like, well, there were only 60,000. 60,000 is a lot of people in this new environment that Kenny Wallace was talking about. Back in the day, when TMS would have however many and the stands were full, and
Brickyard 400 has the highest attended NASCAR race ever, right at 275,000 people.
I saw somebody post that. Well, that ain't shit compared to 275,000. I'm like, no shit.
Nothing is getting that. Nothing gets those kind of seats anymore.
No. And it's like we've said, in NFL, we're about to get in the NFL. They have 60 to 80,000, depending where you are, unless you're the Cowboys. That's your attendance. Like college football, I mean, you have, unless you're A&M in Texas, you have 100,000+. If you're drawing in this day and age, if you're drawing 60,000 to 80,000 people a week, and that's the other thing, NASCAR does it every week in a different place, so I think
Iowa will be sold out, but that's because it only holds 30,000 people.
That's right. And that's why, when they go to the Madhouse, oh, the place is full. What's that hold? 12,000? Yeah.
18 max, maybe.
I saw they fined some drivers and disqualified some people this today.
Yeah, the circus finally laid down some rules, and they were disqualified of all the problems that they have. there at the Madhouse. They were DQing people over tire dope.
Mickey Mouse shit. I'm like, okay, you're finally laying down the law for that.
So answer me this, and you and Wags may have had this discussion. Well, maybe not because of the whole racing thing. Hardcore racing fans just laugh at the clown show that is the Madhouse there at Bowman Gray. Do hardcore baseball fans do the same thing against the Savannah Bananas?
I haven't watched them fully, but hardcore baseball fans love the Savannah Bananas.
I thought it was just the opposite. I thought they hated it.
No, I mean, because I think even a lot of hardcore baseball fans, and I've always said, if you think baseball's boring, it's because you haven't studied baseball. Because it's like that was one of the things that I learned as a kid is I'm not very good at baseball. I'm going to get in here. I'm going to learn this game to see what's so fascinating. And there's lots of things that are fascinating about it. But I think the fact is that a lot of hardcore baseball fans will tell you that it gets boring and they want to be entertained. And we're just we're at that whole part of society to where it's like, okay, catch my attention right now and keep it. I'm going to give you 2 hours to keep my attention. And they do a really good job of doing that. And they're coming to Round Rock. They're supposed to be here, I think, in October.
They're playing at Texas Tailgaters.
Yeah.
Somebody I know actually won tickets. They won the lottery to win tickets. You get 4 tickets.
Yeah. So we're like beating doors down. It's like, hey, we can come out. No response. But it's not Del Diamond that's doing this. This is the whole whatever that is.
I mean, when they're selling out Fenway Park and Pinnacle Field and all, you know where I would totally do Savannah Bananas right now? I would totally let them play the week after the Bristol Classic and let them play there. Let them play Bristol.
Yeah, I bet they would. I bet they jam that place.
I mean, you talk about that, it'd be perfect. I mean, they do it to football stadiums and all that. That's perfect place because you set up all that money for one game. Bring the Savannah Bananas in there the weekend after the Speedway Classic.
Yeah.
Make some money. Make you some money. Print that paper.
You would make up what you're going to lose because look, if the Braves were beating the door down in World Series contention, maybe. I don't think that's going to be a very well attended game. I mean, that would be perfect. Like for the way and they've done a really good job with that place, by the way. It looks really good.
Bad. The people that aren't race fans are talking about it being on MLB The Show.
Yeah.
On the video game, they're like, no, that's real. It's looks just like that in person. Yeah, that's a real field.
This is where I get back to people that want to bitch and complain about stuff. It's like, do you see how easy they repurposed that place that fast? You might want to calm down a little bit because it'll make money as a baseball park.
But yeah, I run this. Put the Savannah Bananas in there the week after the Speedway Classic. Lead that just like Bristol did with Dirt. You ran the World Outlaws over there. You ran all those 4 cylinders, Crown Vics, when they ran that World Series of Dirt or whatever, at Bristol right after they keep it on there for a month. Mm-hmm. Yeah, let the Savannah Bananas play baseball there at Bristol. That would be a show. Yeah, a lot of people that I wouldn't think would enjoy that actually do enjoy that. So I watch them on YouTube all the time. Yeah. No, I mean, it's what I like about them is, it's really, like the Globetrotters, they don't lose. They always win. These guys lose. I mean, look at the standings. They're not that good. Yeah. Well, they're adding 2 more teams. Apparently, they're going to do a banana ball league with 6 teams. So you have the Savannah Bananas, the Party Animals, the Texas Tailgaters, the Firefighters, and 2 more teams to be announced. Damn. See, they need to come up with like a football league like that because the UFL is like that heart monitor is going. Doot, doot. Well, only if you're a USFL franchise. Yeah, and that's where. Well done, San Antonio. There's no problem of losing that team. Have you seen, speaking of that, have you seen some of the Spurs are trying to get a new building downtown, and they're pledging like $1 billion that they're going to throw at this, and good for them because you don't see a lot of franchises doing that. I didn't know this. I heard this today and maybe you know this, that the Missions, I did not know that the Missions are now partially owned by Ryan Sanders' baseball group.
So they're trying to get like a ballpark, what's that? It's not VJ Keefe anymore. It's called whatever it is. It's way the hell out there.
Oh, Nelson Wolf.
Nelson Wolf. So now they're trying to get like a ballpark in downtown San Antonio.
Yeah, they want it right there where the Texan cultures were.
Damn.
They want to put it right next door to the arena.
Wow, that'd be tremendous. I mean, because there's so much to do down there.
Because there was talk about them and UTSA sharing the field since UTSA brings money to the Riverwalk every game day downtown San Antonio.
Well, and I think part of that too is like the Alamo Dome's supposed to be repurposed or not repurposed,
reimagined,
redesigned. Yeah, redesigned. Hey man, I'll tell you what would be great in San Antonio after going to the dirt in the dome. Let's do dirt at the Alamo Dome. That'd be good.
No place for pits.
Oh hell, they can find somewhere.
Yeah, no place for pits. That's why the dome in St. Louis is actually multi-purpose, because they got that big ass room for pits down there.
We can throw that out. We'll throw that out on socials. Shit, we'll have 100 people entered by tomorrow. I'd go.
Mm-hmm. I'll bring my stuff.
I'll be there.
Let the track get a little character in it, and they'll be like, "Nope, I'm loading up my shit. I ain't racing tonight.
Can't go. Can't do it. Got to race next week somewhere else." God, we're bitter old guys. Years and years of doing this program. Damn, dude, we're going on 2 hours. All right. Great program. And just think, we had to go by the seat of our pants, and we still managed to figure this out.
I know. We need to 50 talking about wrestling.
I know. Wrestling. How about that? You
get it all on this show.
You get it all. Savannah Bananas on this show tonight. So hitting a new level. Tune in next week. There's no telling what we'll talk about. Maybe pornography. Who knows? But be sure and be a part of it. Be sure and like all the socials, and be sure and support the people that support us. We talk all the time about our friends at On Demand Shirts. Just great folks right there, the official apparel providers of us. How about a quick word from On Demand Shirts before we skate on out of here on Tuesday night?
Hey, I'm Ross.
Well, him too. Ross is a good dad.
Precision, consistency. Just like in racing, these are our values as screen printing, embroidery, and everything in between. If it's branded, we can do it.
There it is, On Demand Shirts.
Did I send you the proofs I got from my stuff?
Maybe. I'm so far behind, dude.
I'll send them to you when we're done.
Same word.
I have two color choices, gray or black. It looks like I'm going black. Shocker.
Yeah. Same word to anybody else that may have sent me something in the last week. If I haven't addressed it, I will. I'm just a little behind. So anyway. All right, Bobby, rest of the week for you, my man. Like I said, I am staying home, and I am going to be watching some asphalt racing this weekend.
I may go to Cotton Bowl because I'm happy to see Stems. KR in the gang, Kevin Fry, great flag man, one of the best in the nation. And then our good buddy KR, who's always been good to the show. I can go down and hang out with him, and then hang out with H there in the tower. So looks like that's probably what I'm pushing 90%. I'll be there. Plus I get to see Joyce, that she'll probably cook something.
Oh, sexy Joyce. Yeah, absolutely. That's worth the trip right there. I may have to think about my plans now if that's going to be the case.
She made last time I was there, she had fajitas.
What?
Yeah, she made fajitas.
Yeah.
Queso and everything. She made queso, fajitas, all kind of the full-fledged when the races were over inside that office over there.
Not only that, you get all the great commentary from her too. That's the best part. A lot of times that's better than the food. Just hearing the thoughts of the great Joyce Shepard.
Like I said, my biggest problem is that when I go, I don't come home real early. I stay out a little too late because, when the promoter wants you to drink a little alcohol with him, you got to drink a little alcohol, and I don't like to drink and drive a whole lot. It's not good.
Well, you better be having a ride share, mister.
That's right.
That's right.
Do it responsible.
That's right, mister. And if you get in trouble, I'll call you a bum. Somebody called me a bum the other day, and I'm like, all right. I posted something on Twitter or X, and they're like, you're nothing but a bum. I'm like, I hadn't heard that one in a while.
It's a stretch nowadays.
Yeah. I'm like, bum? All right. Sounds good. Bum. All right, you guys, we'll do it again next Tuesday. Thank you all for being a part of this. Be sure and like every social that you find that says anything about Revved Up Sports Show. Be sure and you can catch the audio podcast available tomorrow at revvedupsportsshow.com. Right in the middle of the page, all the archives up on top. If you click the top of the page, it says revvedupsportsshow.tv. Click that. It takes you to everything right there. This show will be right in the middle of the page where you can catch a full replay and be looking for our clips because we'll have that out as well. We do ask you as well to be sure and like the Racing America socials because they afford us the opportunity to be a part of that as well. And go out and find a local track. And if you can't, find a streaming near you. And don't complain about the racetrack on social media.
That's right.
Call them and complain.
Yeah, they'll take the phone call. They'd much rather take the phone call than to reply to the tweet.
That's right. But I mean, that's the whole problem that we know after all this time is that people don't want to call them because
I make a big mistake of reading social media, which I think we all make very vital, critical mistakes by reading the keyboard warriors that are dumbasses that sit in their mother's basements and don't do a damn thing and haven't accomplished anything in their life and tell you how bad you are, what you do. But they can't tell you to their face. I've never stood at the ropes and anybody come up there and go, you really are bad at this, and you should put your wife in the car. But I read it on the internet that why is he driving the car? His wife's way better. She almost won a world championship. Well, now they can kiss my ass. They literally can kiss my ass, and I'll sit there and stick it out for them too, because they don't do a damn thing. They've never accomplished anything in their life. They don't know how to work hard to be successful in anything. That's why they say the shit they say on the internet. And to sit there and have to fight and prove these people wrong, that's the pride I take now. Because this is for all those people that say that I suck, I'm no good, I'm terrible, I've never been anything. This is for all those people. They don't have anything to show for it. I got 2 silver wallies this year to show for it.
Love it.
On that note, we will see you guys next Tuesday. Bobby down in the southern part of Texas. I'm up north. Showtime, Bobby Chaffee, Rodney Rodriguez. Thank all of you for being a part of this. Be sure and hit us up on the socials. Bobby's on X at Bobby Chaffee. I'm at the Rodney R. Looking forward to doing it again. Hashtag Real Race Talk from Texas. It is the Revved Up Sports Show. See you later.